We are on number 18 now of the GED practice test. Go ahead, hit pause, try it, and then turn it back on. Number 18, which of the following equation correctly describes the graph of the line? We can always refer to the formula sheet. It might give you something to help. On the formula sheet on the bottom under algebra, it says the equation of a line is y equals mx plus b. That's the form that it's in right now, y equals mx plus b, because they've solved them for y. The formula sheet doesn't tell you what the m and the b stand for. The m is the slope, and the b is the y-intercept. So it's where it crosses the y-axis at. On here, it crosses the y-axis at the number 3. Between 2 and 4 is the number 3. So that makes it either b or c, because they both have a y-intercept of 3. Then we can use the slope. The slope is the rise over the run, or as the formula sheet says here, slope of a line is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, or the change in y over the change in x. So again, the y is on top, you're subtracting them, and then the x is on the bottom. So the change in y over the change in x. So what you want to do is take any 2 points that you definitely know where they're at, like we knew where that y-intercept was, and this point's definitely there. So what you should do is take a walk up and over. If you take a walk up, it goes up 1. That's the rise. The rise is 1. Again, the rise is the change in the y. The slope has a change in the y on the top. And then the run, it ran over 2. 1, 2. It went over 2 numbers. So the slope is, it has a rise to a run of 1 to 2, or a half. So that makes it d. Y equals 1/2 x plus 3. Okay, number 19. Hit pause and restart. 19 wants to know what is the 6th term in the sequence below. What you want to do, by the way, the answer is B. What you want to do is ponder the differences in the numbers, whether they have a pattern with multiplying or adding or subtracting. So if you subtract 3 minus 1, it's 2. 7 minus 3, 4. 15 minus 7, 8. So it went 2, 4, 8. And then this one, 31 minus 15 is 16. So 2, 4, 8, every single time it's 2 times bigger. 4 times 2, 8 times 2. So the next one's going to be 16 times 2 bigger, or 32 bigger. And then 32 plus 31 adds up to 63. Remember, you can always use your calculator to help you figure out the differences in the numbers to subtract. Number 20. So pause and restart. Number 20. Evening tickets to a play are $24.50 each. Tickets for the afternoon show are $19 each. Janice wants to buy 6 tickets. Arrange terms from the options below to construct the expression Janice would use to determine how much less she would spend if she chose an afternoon show instead of an evening show. You do not need to use all of the terms offered as options. Use any term only once. All right, and we need to fill all the boxes in. So they want to know how much more it's going to cost. Well, if we go to the evening, we're buying 6 tickets at $24.50. $24.50. And if we go to the evening show, we're going to buy 6 tickets at $19. So we just multiply them and then subtract. But the tricky thing is here, we need to just fill in just these boxes. And if you try to put, and we're only allowed to use everything once, so we can't use the 6 twice. So we just want to use it once. So what we can do is go 6. We need to find the price difference. The price difference is $24.50 minus $19. So if you take that price difference times 6, that will tell you what the amount is. So it's going to be 6. So you would slide the 6 up there, parenthesis, $24.50, and then minus $19, and then close it. So that's what you wanted to have in the boxes. You want to figure out the price difference in the tickets and then multiply it by 6, because we only can use each number once. Again, don't panic if you're not getting if you're missing one or two here or there. I gave you a link there. I told you at the beginning of this whole video to my website, a2math.com. At the bottom of the website, I gave GED links, and one of them is GED.com. And what you want to do, it's I think around, I don't know, it's around $10, give or take a few dollars. You can take a practice GED math test. I'll make sure I've got a good link for you to go to take that practice test. And if it'll give you a green light or a red light. It'll let you know whether or not you're ready to take it or not. So just give the questions a try here and then try that GED test and see how close you are. And then ponder your options on how you can improve before you try the practice test again to bring up your level in the math. All right, 21. In a certain state, the legislature has 100 seats. In 2010, Party X held 54 seats. In the 2012 election, the party gained 2 seats. In the 2014 election, the Party X lost 6 seats. So gained plus 2, lost minus 6. But then they gained, so another plus 2 in the 2016 election. What will be the absolute change in the number of seats held by Party X for 2010 to 2016? Okay, they gave you a couple numbers that you don't need to use on this, which wasn't very nice of them. But we don't care about the 100 seats or the 54 seats. They want to know the absolute change in the seats. And the absolute change means that we don't care about whether the answer is positive or negative. We just want to find the number and then just put it down without regard to the sign being negative. So we gained 2 seats, lost 6, and gained 2. So if you combine those numbers together, 2 minus 6 plus 2, you end up with 2. It's negative 2. But they said they wanted the absolute change, and the absolute means it's not negative. So the absolute change in the seats is 2. That was a strange one. 22. Again, pause, try it. You have to try it. It says, what is the surface area of the cylinder below? Okay, surface area cylinder. Let's stay calm. Let's find the formula. Again, you get this formula GED day. So finding it here, surface area cylinder. It's right here. 2 pi r plus 2 pi r squared. Let's see. So surface area, 2 pi r h plus 2 pi r squared. So like I told you, you should have this sheet next to you at all times while you're doing this practice with me, because you need to get familiar with it and know where the formulas are on it so you can go quickly when you take the test since it's timed. Okay, so the radius, here's the radius. The radius goes halfway across the circle opposed to the diameter, which goes all the way across the circle. The diameter is a longer word and it goes all the way across. The radius is a smaller word and it just goes halfway across. So that's the radius. And this is the height. The height goes between the two bases at a right angle. And it does make a right angle down there. You can tell it's not oblique. Oblique would be crooked like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and it's not crooked. So the formula, 2 pi r is 2, and an h is 5, plus 2 pi r, again, is 2 squared. Notice the answers have the pi on it still. So we're not going to get rid of the pi or multiply by it. We leave it on there. So ignore it. Just do the math here. This is all multiplied together. 2 times 2 times 5. So you can use your calculator. It would give you 20, and then smack the pi on it. And then over here, 2 pi, 2 squared. 2 squared is 4 times 2 is 8. So 8 pi. So add together the pi's. We have 28 pi's altogether. All right, 23. 23 would like to know what happens when you divide those. So see the division sign there? You're dividing it. So notice these three all look alike. Let's just get rid of that one. And then the other quick trick you could do on this, divide just the last two numbers here. Negative 36 divided by negative 12 is plus 3. So it's this answer. The longer answer is you're supposed to factor the top. And obviously this is going to be one of the factors, 2x minus 12. And then you have to figure out the other factor. So 2x times what makes 2x squared? And that's x. And then what do you multiply by to get a negative 36? And that would be a plus 3. Negative 12 times plus 3 is negative 36. And you cancel out the two factors that are in common, leaving x plus 3. 24. Customers of Paul's Beauty Supply can make purchases online from a catalog or in the store. About how much more did the company make from catalog sales than from online sales in March? Okay, so they're comparing catalog sales to online sales. So we don't care about the in-store sales. So the catalog sales are between 120 and 140, so about 130. This one's not quite between 60 and 80. It's just a little above it, so I don't know, maybe 65. So, and they said it's the sales here are in the thousands over here on the ledger. It says dollars in thousands. So it's 130 minus 65, which gives you 65. And then it's 1,000 because the numbers are in 1,000. Now, if you came close to that but a little off, it's okay. They kept the numbers pretty far apart. So even if you said that was 60 instead, or maybe that's 125, you're still going to get close to that number. So just remain calm if you didn't get the exact one. It's okay. All right, moving on. We are on 25. So give it a try and restart the video. 25. Which of the following is a graph of the inequality -2 less than or equal to x less than 4? The less than sign, when you open it up bigger, make it wider and open it up, it makes the letter L when you open it up really big. So that's how come that one's the less than sign. Flip it around and that's greater than. And if they put an equal sign on it, greater than or equal to, that's when you color in the dot. If it doesn't have an equal to sign, it's an open circle because it's not included. They color it in when it's included as part of the answer. All right, so this one's colored in and this one's not. This one has an equal sign on it, so it's colored in at -2, so it can't be B. It's not colored in. And 4 does not have an equal, so it's open. So 4 has to be open, so it's not C. And then the other thing here, it's all the numbers between -4, -2, and 4. So it's going to be D. What A has graphed is x less than or equal to -2 or x greater than 4. This is a two-piece function. It's got two pieces to it. It's given all the pieces less than -2 and all the pieces greater than 4. This is what happens when you have it as one equation like this, one inequality, because you're just finding the numbers between -2 and 4. So that's how come it was D. All right, 26. 26, at what point does the line with the equation y equals 2x plus 3 intersect with the line with the equation y equals -1/2 x minus 7? Okay, you want the answer here of A. What we could do on this is you could just plug all the numbers in and see which one works. So like if you started here with B at 0, -7, you'll see right away it doesn't work because y, remember, goes x and then y. Y is -7. Does that equal 2 times 0 plus 3? No, it doesn't. That doesn't work because 2 times 0 is 0 plus 3 is 3. That's not -7. And then you could go down the whole list and see that they don't work. So that's one thing you could do. And they have to work in both equations. If you want to solve it algebraically, what you're supposed to do, when they intersect is where the two lines are equal to each other, where the y's are equal. And so what you're going to do is set the one equation equal to the other equation with the x's. So 2x plus 3 equals -1/2 x minus 7. You just set them equal. You set the y's are equal to each other because when they intersect, the x and the y points are equal. So you can just set them equal and solve that equation. I like my letters on the left and my numbers on the right. So this here is a letter, negative 1/2 x. And so to get rid of it, I'm going to do the opposite and add 1/2 x. And you do that to both sides. So what happens is that's 0. And then 2 plus 1/2 is 2.5. Plus 3, bring down the equal sign, don't lose it. Bring down the -7, don't lose the minus on the 7. It was a minus. The next step then, isolate that x, get rid of that plus 3. So you minus 3 from both sides. So 2.5x equals -7 minus 3, -10. Again, on the calculator here, the negative key is on the bottom. So -7 minus 3, enter, -10. And then over here I did 2 plus 1/2, so 2 plus 1 n over d2 equals, the calculator says 5/2, and that's fine. I'll write it out with 5/2 also. So 5/2x equals -10. It doesn't matter, it'll work either way. And I'll just show you another trick on the calculator. If you wanted to, you could change it to a mixed number by using the second key and then this times 10 to the n above it. It changes the n over d to a mixed number, u n over d. So you go second, 10, enter, and it'll change it to a mixed number for you, 2.5. All right, so the last step here to solve it, to isolate the x, we have to get rid of the 2.5. So you divide by 2.5. So x equals -10 divided by 2.5, and that's -4. But if you didn't know that here, do it on the calculator. -10, -10. Let me fix it up here for you. Again, negative on the bottom, 10, and then divided by, and it's a mixed number, so I'm going to go second n over d to enter the mixed number, 2.5, enter, and it's -4. So you can see right there, x is -4. If you want to find y also, what you do is you take it and plug it back into either one of the equations that were up here. I'm just going to plug it into the first one. So y equals 2x plus 3. So if x is -4, 2 times -4 plus 3, you get, again, y equals 2x plus 3. We got x was -4, plug it in. 2 times -4 is -8, plus 3 gives you -5. So when x is -4, y is equal to -5, which is the answer that we just put down there on 26, -4, -5. All right, 27. A pole is supported by a cable as shown. The cable is attached to the ground 9 feet from the base of the pole and is attached to the pole 12 feet above the ground. Which of the following expressions could be used to find the length of the cable? So this is the cable here. So again, take a guess at it and then we'll go over it. All right, so it probably might not pop out to you because I didn't put a right angle down here, but you have the Pythagorean theorem going here. You know 2 sides out of 3 of the triangle. Whenever you want to find a third missing side, that's the Pythagorean theorem, which is on your formula sheet. It's down here under algebra. It says Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Again, they don't tell you what the a and the b and the c are. A and the b are the legs. C is the hypotenuse. The legs make the right angle. So this right angle, this box down here, is made out of the 12 and the 9. That forms the angle. Those 2 lines make it. So the legs are 12 and 9. So 12 squared plus 9 squared equals c. C, the hypotenuse, is across from the right angle. The side across from the right angle is the hypotenuse. Notice they didn't go down here and actually solve it. They just cleaned it up a little bit. So it's a plus sign on it. So it's not going to be B. It's not going to be D. And then you need to isolate the C. Currently, it's really not isolated because of that little 2 there. So that's how come it's C. What they did to solve it then is they took the square root of both sides. So the square root of 12 squared plus 9 squared equals C, or the length of the cable. So you wanted to have C. All right, number 28. It says Meg is an interior designer who is looking to place 2 chairs against an accent wall. She has 4 different chairs from which to choose, each a different color: yellow, red, green, and blue. How many different combinations of chairs can Megan use in her design? Write your answer in the box below. Again, you need to try it. Put a number down. Hit pause if you need to. Okay, you wanted to have 6. The quick way to do this is they said combination. There's a key on the calculator called combination, and we have 4 different chairs, and we want to know she's going to pick 2 of them. So we have 4 and we're choosing 2 of them. 4, choose 2. So on your calculator, what you can do, under the word probability, you have to enter that number 4 first. So 4, and then the probability key right up here. Hit that, and you're going to go down to choice 2, combination. C for combination. Hit that, and then 2. It gives you the answer of 6. So that's a quick way to do it. Again, 4, combination, hit probability, go down to number 2, and we're choosing 2 chairs. So that's 6. The long way to do it, we could have a yellow and a red chair, or we could have a yellow and a green, or a yellow and a blue, or we could have a red and a green, a red and a blue, or we could have a green and a blue. So those are the 6 different combinations, because green and blue is the same as blue and green when you do a combination, and red and yellow is the same as yellow and red. Because any combination of these work, the order didn't matter on it. If the order mattered, it would have been a permutation, and they would have said if the order mattered of the chairs. They would have said something about the order mattering. But here they flat out said combination. So any combination of them. So something that would be, for an example, a permutation would be like your code for the ATM. That's an actual permutation of numbers. You can't enter your numbers in any old order and get your money out of the bank, because it's not a combination, it's a permutation of numbers. The order of your entry matters. All right, one more page, and we'll go to another video after this then. All right, 29. Again, pause and restart. 29. The Whitmans are trying to pay off their credit card debt, so they developed the following budget based on their monthly take-home pay. If the Whitmans' monthly take-home pay is $2,500, about how much do they plan to pay each month on their credit card debt? All right, so their credit card is right here. It's 24%. None of the other numbers matter. This is a problem like paying a tip at a restaurant, or finding a discount on an item at the store when it says 25% off, or if you're paying a 15% tip, you take in 15% of the bill, or 25% off the price of it. So what you're doing is you're multiplying 24% times 2,400. So 24% times the monthly amount there of 2,500. All right, so doing it by hand, you would move it over 2 places, because remember, percent is per 100, so it's 24 out of 100, which makes it 0.24 times 2,500. Which, if you did the math on that, you're going to get 600. Doing it on your calculator here and letting the calculator do all of the work, we got 24, and above this parenthesis, you can stick a percent sign on. So second parenthesis times 2,500. So it did 25% of 2,500, so 600. Because what happened is, when you do 24 and then put the percent sign on it, it changes it to that decimal of 0.24. All right, number 30. You guys are usually good at this question. Number 30 says, the market sells all varieties of pasta at the rate of 4 boxes for $5. Jennifer needs 3 boxes of ziti and 3 boxes of spaghetti. At this rate, how much will she spend for the pasta? Write your answer in the box below. Again, pause it, try it. You wanted to have 750. And the way I usually see everybody do this problem, there's several ways you can do it, but the way that's most popular is to find the unit price, how much it costs per 1 box. So it's $5 for 4 boxes. So 5 divided by 4, use your calculator, it says $1.25 in per box. Dollars divided by boxes. So we're going to buy 6 boxes though. 3 plus 3 is 6. So $1.25 times 6 gives you that answer then of $7.50. Again, you got a calculator. Multiply it together. No shame in it. Next one, number 31. Inc. has been receiving a variety of advertisements in the mail. In order to figure out if the number of advertisements was increasing over time, she kept track of how many advertisements she received each week over an 8-week period. This is her record. The first week 3, the second 4, so on through the 8th week. The dot plot below is based on the table Inc. created above. However, it is incomplete. Place additional dots on the dot plot until it accurately affects Ing's records of the 8-week period. Lots of words here we don't need. All we need are these numbers here, and we need to put them on the plot. So, starting with the number 1, there are no 1s. Moving on to the number 2, there is 1, 2. The number 3, 1, just 1, and they have a dot for it already. And then 4, ooh, look, there's 1, 2, 3 of them. They have 1, so we need 2 more dots. And then 5, they have 1. 6, they have 1. And then they don't have a dot for 7. And it was 8 weeks, so we need 8 dots. So let's double check it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did it. All right, so again, I want to remind you, my website's got some links that you can use that you can figure out how to take the GED test, where to go, and how to get the formula sheet, and how to get this calculator I've been using. Again, it's the only calculator that's allowed on the test. So just go to a2math.com, A and then 2 math, and go to the bottom of the page, and it will give you the links on the bottom of the page of where to go to. All right, I will see you for the next video. Again, keep up hope. Don't panic because you missed a few here and there. It's going to be okay. You're going to pass this test. Just keep up your hope. Keep working on it. There's lots of videos online, and there's other things you can do to pass it. You can do it. All right, have a good day. See you for the next video.